Hello, everybody. Welcome back. This is our second video in a series of learning how to read and write a Afan Oromo. And in this video, I'm going to introduce you with the Oromo alphabet. We call it Qubee, Qubee Afan Oromo. I'm not going to go through each one of them. I know when you see them, you already know them. Is there any symbol unique to you from here? Anyone? If the answer is no, that is it. There is no new symbol, but there are new sounds as we come to them. And I will go to the next, to the last part of it. Look, they are all the letters you know. But still, I say that I tell you, there are sounds. There are different sounds to them. We will come back to them. We'll come back to those. And the last part of the Oromo, the Qubee Afan Oromo, is this uh, group. We call it Qubee Dacha. Dacha means actually combined. So there are two letters combined to give us one sound. Still, those combined letters are the letters you know already in other languages. So we go back to the previous one, and I tell you how we actually say them. What's the difference between Qubee Afan Oromo and the other languages you know already? Like there are some adoptions, changes to suit the voices that are in Oromo language. And also the way we call them actually is a little bit different from uh, the other language we know. For example, uh, so what I'm trying to say is that you know these are A B C D E F G H I J K L in English, for example. But in Oromo, the sound are a little bit different, and the way we use is also a little bit different. I'll go through this so that you understand clearly. You have to understand clearly this. Look at the colored letters here, the colored letters. The green colored ones are the vowels. The vowels that are the same vowels in Oromo, the same vowels in English. These vowels have a different sounds than we used to know in English. For example, the first one is A, not A we know. That's the first one is A. E, this one is not E actually. It is A in Oromo. So this is A. It is A sound in English actually, but we call it A. But this one is E. This is one is E in English, but it is A in Oromo. And this one is I in English. Can you guess what it is? It is E in Oromo. Why we call them like A, A, E? Because this is the sound they represent in written Afan Oromo. Actually, they the same represent in English as well. In most cases, they represent A represents the A sound, E represents the A sound, and I represent the E sound. I'll come to the other two remaining vowels, O and U. Look at the yellow ones. These yellow letters, sorry, G must have been yellow to be similar with the letter C. These are the differences we have in English. This is not C anymore in Oromo. If you want to write C, we use S, not C itself. So this is a different sound. Probably you're gonna have a difficulty pronouncing it. It is che. I'll say it again. Che, chi, like that. So That is the ch sound. That sound is not in English, so probably hard practicing it for you, but you have to practice so that you will get it. The G sound, the G here, the G letter is not G in Oromo. The G sound for Oromo is the J. We write any sound that G, we use J. But G is now ga, g, ga sound. The ga, the g sound, go sound. Actually, it's very much similar in most cases with English. For example, sounds. In most cases, we use G to write a g sounds, but it is not restricted to that in English. Like in garage, for example, when we write garage, we don't use J. If we use for Oromo, actually we use to write it in J. So that's some of the difference here. I will stay on this screen for you to know what we call the rest actually. What we call B. This there is no change in the way we use in those white non-colored what the color is just my labeling. Sorry, there are no colored actually. All the all the all the letters have the same color, or they don't have any color at all because they are abstract things. So this is how we call actually in Oromo. A, ba, cha, da, e, fa, ga, ha, I, ja, ka, la. That's how we call them. Why we call B ba and the D da, F fa? This is something related to how the Oromo people speak language, the Oromo language. The Oromo language is more inclined to use such kind uh, of sounds. So it is meant to adopt to the language. One is that. Second one is if you for example use if this is F in Oromo, it can't be F. F has another. F is normally like a word. It have E. It has E and F. F. For example, W. For example, W, W, S have four sounds in it. We don't call W a W. We call it just wa. We will come to see that. So it's wa. It's just one sound. In Oromo, these letters actually the consonants will come to those. Well, obviously we know consonants and the vowels. In Oromo, by definition, we can't you can't call consonant like you can't call B this as ba because by definition it doesn't have a sound unless it it some vowels come to it, which is we call it dubachiftu. The vowels are dubachiftu. Actually, dubachiftu means that helps to be spoken or to be read. So any consonant letter by itself, by definition, do not have any sound unless it is followed by a vowel sound. All vowels have their own sounds. So that's why they help to be read or be spoken, the other consonant sounds. So, but what we say here is only to teach. Like I call ba, cha, da, fa, ga, ha. It's just for teaching, so that people help them. But in some written forms, when they appear in written form, they will have a very slight silent name. Uh, uh, they produce silent, semi-silent sounds. That this is just we will come to those um, words, how we wrote, how we write them, and so on. Let's go to the next part. That's continued. Sorry, that's continued again. So the same here. U, we call it. This is U, not U. So that's a change in the way we read it. It is U. Uh, because if you want to write U, we use actually Y or Ya. And there is no change for O. O is O in Oromo. So there are four consonants whose we naming changed: A, E, E, and U, which are actually A, E, I, and U. And look at the yellow ones. These are this is the third, and this is the fourth actually. If you remember in the previous screen, there is cha, C changed to cha, and the G changed to ga. And here Q is another sound called ka. Can you say it? Ka. It is not ka. It is ka. Ka. For ka sound we use Q. For ka sound we use K actually. That's ka. This is ka. 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 We will see this in words and also in sentences. And the other different language, the sound, sorry, is X. We use X for different sound. It is called ta, 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 ka, ka, ta. So cha, this is a very difficult sound you're gonna face in pronouncing and practicing them. Cha, this is C, cha. Ka, this is Q, and ta, this is actually X. To write X, we use E and K and S. X. The three letters, three sounds in there. This is we use this ta. So otherwise, the others are just normal sound, little bit different from how we call them. Like this is M in English, but we call it ma, na. I said o, pa, ka, ra, sa, ta, u, va, wa, ta, ya, za. So the letters in white color here, their use in Oromo is not that much different from the use we use in English, for example. If you see as we've seen, the yellow colored are completely different, and maybe those sounds may not be even exist in English language. And the U sound, U, is the way we use U is not far away or much different from it is used in most of the English languages. I hope you're understanding this one. And there are combined letters. These are the combined letters to produce different sounds. So let's say this CH or cha-ha. So this is the cha-ha. Actually, it is since it is combined, it is not cha-ha sound, but it is cha sound. Cha, cha, che sound, like church. When we write church, actually we don't use um, other combinations. So it's one combined combined. It's similar to what we have in English. Most of in English are the same as che here, change, church, and so on and so on. The second one is the most difficult one for you. Is typically Oromo sound. It is da, 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 da. It's really hard to pronounce for non-Oromo speaker. It's not da, it is da. Dhaamsa, dhadhaa, dheebuu, dheedhii, daadhii. So uh, this needs a lot of practice for you to say the word properly. Don't be discouraged with this. You can say da and for the moment until you actually practice properly and say da. Nya, that's the third one. Nya, new y, ni and n and y. Nya. It is not na. For na, we only use n only. This is nya, 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 nyata, nyara, and so on. There are lots of Oromo words or lang statements that we make with this. The fourth one, ph is pa, pa. We hardly find a letter in Oromo, pa. But when we want to write other languages like Petros or other words that have that sound, we use a letter, which is a combination of P and H. The fifth one is sha. Sha. This is nearly similar to the combined letter in English like share and so on. Share. That is sha. The next one on the right top is tse. That's another uh, difficult sound even for Oromo, for most Oromo. That's not the Oromo sound, but when we want to write some other uh, sounds from other language, if you want to reference them, or if you want to say them, we write using uh, ta sa as sa, sa, sa. Like there is a common Amharic name or word tsahai, which means sun. If you want to refer tsahai in Oromo written language, we use that ti, ta, sa as tsa. Similar to the last one uh, is ja, za, ya, ja. It is not za. For za, we only use za or z, but this is ja, ja. That's also to write if you want to write other language in Oromo, we can use that for that sound, ja. If you go back, so there are few changes we summaries are going to bring to you. Look at the vowels a, e, and u, u, and in the in consonants there is cha, ga, and in ka and ta. In the combined words, let sounds, most of them are difficult for you, but practice makes perfect. So practice them. The first one is cha, you know this, it's clear. The second one is the most difficult one, da, 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 damsa, da. The third one is nya, nya. The fourth one is pa, pa. The fifth one is sha. On the right, the first one is tsa, 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 and the last one is ja, ja. Thank you for your listening. Stay with me. Now, next one, we're gonna start writing, how to write and how to pronounce Oromo words. So we started the most important part of this series. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Bye bye.